Hey everyone, Scotch192 here, and advanced warning! This video is going to be mostly Geek Mode activated. And for those who don't know what Geek Mode is, it's basically me going to be turning into my uber duper super mega ultra geek mode, where I'm probably going to talk about a lot of geeky stuff. I was just having to rethink about it. I've not been having a good couple of days, and I was just having to rethink about a film I saw recently, The Dark Knight Rises. You might have heard of it. It's fairly popular, I've heard. And I was just thinking today, after watching one or two people's reviews of it, and also rewatching my reviews of it. If you haven't seen them, I actually reviewed all of the Batman films, from the Tim Burton Batman films to the Schumacher Batman movies, and to the Nolan Batman movies, including The Dark Knight Rises, which I done a review of. They're all on my channel, you can go check them out if you want. And I was just having a rethink, and also some news has been announced about the reboot to the Batman series, and it is getting rebooted for those that don't know. After The Dark Knight Rises, it's kind of obvious that it was going to get rebooted. It's no ifs, buts, or what's about it. And there is some good news, so I will tell you the news, and if you're not an uber duper super mega geek, you're probably not going to give two shits. So yeah, this is going to be geek centric. But for those that don't know, the news has come out that the next Batman movie is going to be a reboot, but not a full reboot. It isn't going to be a reboot of the Batman origin story. It's actually just going to be a reboot, and it's going to be set during year 2 of Bruce Wayne, aka Batman, being Batman, basically. So it's not going to be a whole fucking reboot, which is nice. There is no script, there is no director, there is no cast or anything yet. It's just basically Warner Brothers trying to hold it on the Batman license, basically, and it's going to be coming out in roughly 4 years, so it's a reasonable wait. And there is also some rumors flying about that this could be the first step to the Justice League film, and also the Man of Steel as well is also rumoured to be linked to the Justice League film, which I will probably have to do a whole nother video on the Man of Steel, and I probably will eventually, and it will probably be another geek mode. So yeah. So what I'm going to be doing in this video is I'm going to give you what I think the reboot should be, or at least my opinion on it. If you want to see my review of all the Batman films, they are on it's on my channel. You can go check it out. It's prep for The Dark Knight Rises. I review all the Batman films and give my honest opinions on them. And if you want to check them out, go ahead. But that's just this is a little plug for myself there. But I'm just going to basically talk about what I think they should do for the reboot. And this is probably going to be extremely geeky because Batman is one of my favourite heroes. Now, firstly, let's just go. A lot of people are debating on what style the reboot should take. Some people are saying they should stick to the Nolan style, which is very realistic. And even though I like the Nolan style, in my opinion, they haven't really created the perfect Batman film yet. They've done pretty damn good, awesome jobs, except for the Schumacher ones, which are utter abominations. But the Burton ones and the Nolan ones have been very, very dark ones. The Nolan ones were way too dark, were almost too dark in my opinion, and that's quite evident in my review. But the Nolan ones are very realistic, which some people are saying they prefer over the comic booky mythos of comic book movies, basically. And some people are saying that they want Nolan to continue the series, but Nolan has made it quite adamant that he is not going to continue the Dark Knight trilogy. That's a trilogy, it's done, dusted, all the cast have went, no, we're done, see you, fuck off, time to go. And of course that means Bale is not going to be back, which I'm kind of happy about, because let's face it, there's only so many movies you can deal with that voice. You can always deal with that Batman voice for only too long. But here's what I think. I like the realistic Nolan Batman films. In order, it's The Dark Knight, Batman Begins, and The Dark Knight Rises. The Dark Knight Rises being the weaker of the trilogy in my opinion, and I know I'm going to get fucking lynched for that. Don't care, don't like it, fuck off. But here it is. Even though I like the realistic style, I honestly think the reboot should go a bit more comic booky. i.e. going a bit more to become a comic booky movie, because if this is going to be basically the build up to the Justice League film, there's no damn fucking way in hell that you can make a Justice League film realistic. I am sorry. There is no damn way. There's no way you can make a Wonder Woman, a Martian Manhunter. No way you can make a Wonder Woman, Martian Manhunter, Flash, Hawkman and Hawkgirl, Superman, Batman, and whoever else, Green Lantern. There's no goddamn fucking way you can make all of that work and make it realistic. I am sorry. If you do that and you succeed, you deserve a medal. No damn fucking way. It has to be comic booky, in my opinion. Now that is also, everyone's opinion is different. But this is my opinion, and if you want to voice your opinion, there's a comment section down below. The more comments I get, the more interesting the topic, basically. But here it is. I think that they should go a wee bit more comic booky with Okay, I'm going to be honest, I'm still waiting for the perfect Batman film, mainly because the Batman animated series is one of my favourite animated TV series of all time, and I'm still waiting for a movie to get that. I'm sorry, it's just my opinion. I don't think anyone will ever match the animated series for what it did. However, I would like it if a live action Batman movie could get the right mix of comic book, but also dark tone, which is very synonymous with the Batman mythos. And I think the animated series has been the only one that has perfected that, in my opinion. If they could do that in the style of a movie, now that would be the perfect Batman film, in my opinion, and that's what I'm still waiting to see, to get the right mix of comic book and dark tones. Realistic, I'm okay with making it realistic to an extent, but I still want the stylistics of the comic book Batman. I want the proper Batmobile, not the Tumbler or the Bat from The Dark Knight Rises, which I'm still iffy with. The Tumbler I thought was alright, I just didn't like it as much as a lot of other people. And the Bat, in my opinion, I was waiting for the Bat Wing. I'm sorry, I prefer the Bat Wing. The Bat just kind of rubbed me the wrong way in some instances. And just in my opinion, I really would like it if they went a bit more comic booky style, not too much like Schumacher, and not too dark like Tim Burton, and not too realistic like the Dark Knight trilogy by Nolan. Even though Nolan done a fantastic job, I think he took it a little too realistic in some instances. Even though that's his style, I would have preferred if he'd went a bit more comic booky. I'm still waiting for someone to mash all three of those together and make the perfect Batman movie, to get the right mix of dark tones, but also get the right mix of realisticness, to also get the right mix of comic book, which is going to be a very tricky thing. I honestly can't think of a director who could possibly do that beyond Joss Whedon, but he's on Marvel's side, so he can't do it. But just in my opinion, I would like it if they'd done that. If they could just get the right mix of comic book, dark, and realistic. Now, realistic is something I'm not too fussed about. If they can't do realistic, just make a dark comic book movie, which would be really nice for Batman, in my honest opinion. I don't think anyone has done that yet. It's beyond the animated series. I would really like it if some director could come along and do that and make it the perfect Batman film for this reboot, because that's what I'd love to see, in my opinion. I'd love to see this reboot to go in a bit more comic booky and also a bit dark. Not as dark as the Tim Burton films, as I stated, and not as comic booky as the Schumacher films. So far we haven't got the right mix of in between. Even though I love the Nolan films, I still am waiting for the perfect Batman film. I really want one to get that right mix of dark tone, but also comic booky feel to it, which, if they really are building up to a Justice League film, they're going to have to make it comic booky to make it match up with the Justice League.